Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the rundown week 7. And Oz looks very confused for some reason. Oh man, I will say one thing: week 7 did not disappoint. Um,
Well, I don't know about that. It depends on who you play for.
That's true, but some of the fixtures that came out this week was pretty eye-opening. It was pretty much telling us that everything's in the right order. That who you expect to win, we're going to win, things like that. In some matches, so it wasn't.
Do you feel like this was that they are who we thought they were sort of week? Do you?
Yeah. You are who you are who
who we thought
we expected you to be. Evening, Martin. And
evening, Martin.
We can kick it off straight away with the Saturday game that happened.
All right.
Manchester Titans versus East Kilbride Pirates. Now, this game was live streamed, as we know. Manchester has their beautiful own live stream. From what I saw online, they had about 700 people at the game on Saturday. So a very good turnout for sure. Very good bloody turnout.
It's not the potato webcam. It's the internet. It's the hamster internet. It is not having a good time today.
Does up north not have good internet?
I don't know. I've just I don't know about up the north in general, but just ours is just shit the bed. I've logged it with our service provider, but it is what it is.
Fair enough. Hey, Coach Russ.
Coach Russ.
But yeah, we were talking about the Titans versus East Kilbride game. So they had 700 people at this game. So that alone is an impressive feat. But then the scoreline, 36-7 to the Manchester Titans, very, very strong. And the rumors of their demise is very, very long gone.
Yeah, so with this sort of scoreline, this is more of a, do we think there was a bit of a blip against Coventry and it might have just been, shake the rust off, everything like that? Because Coventry was their first game of the season. So it might be, shake the rust off. And then since then, they've had convincing wins the past couple of games.
Yeah.
Yeah, versus both Newcastle and then and now East Kilbride as well. So,
and I'm not mad at it, but it does seem like the North is slightly potentially Manchester Titans will be up there, but I'll be more intrigued to see what happens with their next game.
Bradley.
I think they're playing. I think they either have Nottingham next and I think it's at Nottingham. So it'll be. I'll be intrigued to see how.
I'm not.
Probably maybe a Titans win, maybe a close game.
Maybe a Titans win. Maybe. What do you mean? Maybe
a close game. Look,
I don't think it will be.
You think it will be a absolute blowout?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about blowout, if blowout's the right word, but I think it'll be quite a convincing win. Yeah, I don't think that we're going to be looking at anything sort of too worrying for Manchester until they play Coventry again. Yeah.
It's probably right, but again,
so the next two games they've got nobody next week, and then they've got the Caesars on back-to-back weeks. So they play them at home and away on back-to-back weeks.
Oh, that should be fun. It'll be interesting, that's for sure.
And then they don't play the Phoenix again until last game of the season.
There's Tony. Titans will win the division, but get blown out by the teams down south. That is probably
you say teams. I don't know if that's the case either.
Yeah, because the Premiership South, we know there's one team already that's going to be in the final. We know it's going to be we know the Warriors will be in the finals. in September.
Evening, Simon.
Who does worry? Who do?
Thanks, Simon. Thanks.
I haven't received mine yet, Simon. So
yeah, yours is in the post. Yours is in the post.
We know one team that will be in the finals. It's just a question of who will they be playing.
Well,
Now,
it's a question of that. It's more who loses to the Warriors in the final.
True. Yeah. But I'll be intrigued to watch a third round of Warriors versus Titans because I know Warriors have a bone to pick with that team because again they're the only team that's really beaten them.
So a third round of Warriors versus Titans would mean that Titans beat
Bristol. Or yeah. Hey, I said I'll be down for it. I never said it's going to happen. There's a big difference. But anyway, let's roll on to Division 1. We had Cardinals versus Ooze Valley Eagles. Cardinals won 18-8. Am I shocked? Probably not.
Come on, Ooze. What happened? What happened, Ooze?
And that means Oz is already down by one prediction.
What happened, Ooze?
Everyone picked the Titans for the Saturday game. No one made any silly decisions there. But look, Ooze Valley, they're one of those teams that you just never know what you're gonna get. They're like a box of
it's just
when you never know what you're gonna get.
Oh, Forrest Gump here.
I call you out with that one.
No, it's honestly, I was more. My brain went to another joke. No, it's more. It's the issue. The issue is it's like just as you start to buy in and think, they're starting to put something together, and then it's just stumble and then fall. I mean, both you and Martin was he was pretty sure. We have just bypassed the Prem South games completely because you've jumped straight from Prem North to Div 1.
Yeah, because the Prem North was the Saturday game, so I'm doing it in order of when the games were being played.
Really?
We can go to the South. We can go to the Premiership South if you want.
I don't get it. It's just, but it's just was this game like? I don't know. It just feels weird to jump around, from Prem to Div 1, but I don't know. I'll let you do it your way. You've got your own thing. You've got your own vibe. I'm not going to kill your vibe. What we're seeing from here is Ooze didn't have a QB from what Joe was saying.
And
Martin mentioned that Ooze started to come back in the second half. Ball security killed them, so not having a QB is going to lead a long way into ball security problems. But it just feels like starting to buy into Ooze and then big old stumbling block. But at the same time, it's like you picked Ipswich to win. I think.
Yep.
There was a sort of an overwhelming.
And you picked Ooze Valley.
Yeah, well, no, there was an overwhelming public vote there for Ooze Valley as well.
Yeah, it is one of those ones where you don't know where the voice is going to be. So no, 66% picked the Cardinals to win this week.
That's what I'm saying. So you guys, it was a bit of an underdog pick from me, I guess, for Ooze, but
the next game obviously was Lincolnshire Bombers versus Lee Miners. This one was split by the community 50-50. The Bombers ended up winning 32-14. Now you are the only one that picked the Bombers to win.
What? Why? Why am I the only one? Like, how is that a like?
You literally are the only one. Everyone else picked the Miners to win this game.
I didn't think that was such a hot take. From don't get me wrong, I've made some spicy takes that have just been completely out of nowhere, and have resulted in just egg on my face. But I didn't realize this was one of the.
I feel like they had already played this year. Or am I going crazy? No, they haven't. But I think, they actually haven't. So why did we go with the Miners? Ooh.
It's I don't know. It was to me but again, 50. This was split right down the middle for community picks. So I thought this was quite an obvious one for me, but
apparently not to everyone else.
yeah, exactly. I mean, one of the obvious ones that we had was the humble walkover with Donny.
But that game got postponed.
Exactly. So postponed. It will probably still turn into a walkover. Postponed due to player safety from the Donny side. Just too many injuries. Yeah, not enough players. So that will more than likely turn into a walkover there for Humber.
Damn. But we all went with Warhawks for that one anyway. But until that gets played, it probably will.
Yeah, it's still officially listed as a postponement, but I kind of expect that to get changed to a walkover.
Yeah. And then in the division, we're going up to Division 1. We have South Wales Warriors versus Bristol Apache. I am the only numbnuts that picked the Apache to win this game, and this game ended 9-7 to South Wales Warriors.
This has been a tightly fought rivalry for the past couple of years. Like, I have a really weird feeling that 9-7 might have been the scoreline that they put up last year when they split the series between the two of them.
I think it was like they just repeated the exact same thing over and over
again. Yeah. I may be wrong, but I do feel like when they split the series, they both scored it was 9-6 or 9-7 or something. It was an absolute slugfest last year, and they've done the same thing this year. So
they are the two best
every time those guys sit on the field.
South
Wales Warriors scored all the points, number one defense in Div 1. That was what we heard last year as well, that they were the number one scoring, the number one defense in Div 1 last year as well, was what we heard.
Yeah, that's it. They did stand up, but that you can be the number one defense not in a good division, and it doesn't match up, because then when you go play a better offense, you can't really stop them from scoring. So
7-6. 7-6 was the score that they split last time. So it was
difference by 3 points.
7-6. Yeah. Well, it's literally, instead of it being 7-6 from last year, they've stepped up a little bit, so it's 9-7. So,
but this has been one of this in Division 1 has been one of the good matchups, because you just never know who's actually going to come out and win this one. So it's very good and it's very interesting.
I'm waiting for the reverse fixture where Bristol wins at 9-7.
Yeah, exactly. But we're going to move on to the other team in Division 1. London Wembley Stallions versus London Blitz B.
Is this the hottest team in Britball right now?
I would say so. In Division 1, they definitely are probably one of the hottest teams in the team. So it's
like outside of the Warriors, they are probably the team I would expect to put 50 on their opponents the most.
Yeah. It just seems like Warren Smart has got it right this year, and the team is just clicking from the get-go, which you don't usually see from most teams, where I think they've put up at least nearly 50 in most of their games. I just realized I didn't put the scores in the other ones, but they're doing really, really well, and I can't even think about any other team potentially winning that division just because of how they are playing. Yeah, so first game of their season, they put up 52 points. Second game, they beat Blitz B 35-0. Then they beat Sussex Thunder 60-0. And then they just won this week 59-12. Wembley Stallions are
it's just
pretty dangerous. Yeah, it's
they've got to have
all
eyes pointing towards playoffs. Yeah. Just in reference to somebody asked if Rahul had asked if Bristol and South Wales had not already played twice. No, they are due to play again in week 12, so the 22nd of June.
That's good. They got a couple of weeks. Thank you. Not put back-to-back games of them playing each other. Hate that. It's actually quite annoying. But
Dave Chews mentioned that the West is the most competitive division apart from Somerset, so Somerset's kind of just turning up to get their lunch taken from them.
Is it? Maybe is it though?
Div 1 as a whole, is always looking very competitive. I mean, you think about it, like Central's not competitive. Wembley's running away with it.
Yeah. Then you've got the West. Is it the East or the West? I can't remember what the bloody division was called. Is it the West?
The East would be like Kent Exiles, Colchester.
Mavericks, Tridents.
Yeah. But that doesn't look as competitive though, is what I'm saying. Like we've just seen Colchester beat the Exiles 26-0.
Yes, but then we're looking at the West, and South Wales are 3-0, where everyone else is 1-1.
True.
Apart from Somerset, who are 0-3. If we're gonna really look at who the most competitive division,
who do I think will be in the Div 1 South final? I think it'll be South Wales.
There is no Div 1 South final, but hey.
Well,
who's gonna be in that playoff relegation match?
No, but there still has to be. You've got to get
playoffs.
Like you've got to do the playoff match to get you to a point to push that team into the playoff relegation match. Which I think the final two teams standing in Div 1 South, I think will be South Wales and Wembley.
Oh, that would be interesting. That would be very interesting. But we can also talk about the other teams in that division as well.
Like the Mavericks?
Yeah, Mavs maybe. They seem like they're on the roll at the moment. They didn't play this week, but they seem like they're going into a good spot. But we can also talk about the other team in that division who are 2-1. Sorry. We got the Berkshire Renegades versus Sussex Thunder, where Sussex Thunder won 24-0. And only Sean picked the Thunder to win this game.
I don't know what's going on with that division. That is like I have no idea what
he does or what he knows, how he knows. It's insane. He picks some picks sometimes, and I'm just like, where does he get this information from? But Sussex Thunder,
when it comes to like the Thunder and the Renegades and everything, I have no idea what's going on there. Like it's
that division, and this is, well, to be fair, yes, the Stallions should win this division comfortably.
That's the thing. It's like when you take the Stallions out of that division, and you've got Dreadnoughts, Thunder, Renegades, Blitz B. I've got no idea what's going on anywhere.
They should never. Stallions shouldn't lose another game until potentially playoffs, maybe depends on who they got to go up against. They should potentially be the home field advantage as well for the playoffs, most likely.
I think it'll come down to them. I mean, I suppose, forgive the pun, but the dark horse, I suppose, would be one would be the Mavs and two would be the O's.
It's true. That is very true. And we're not bypassing your victory, Thunder. We're not, but we're just looking at the whole picture.
It
is the Stallions division.
In the grand scheme of things, the Thunder win is great for morale, but it doesn't really do a lot for playoffs for me.
Yeah, and they've taken the beating by the Stallions twice already in the last couple of weeks. So they played them twice already. So
even if they finish second in their division, it's they're just going to get battered by whoever wins the other division.
They have to travel, so it's going to be it'll be very interesting to see how that works. So David's come up with a really good point here. The Central Division is weird. 2 promoted Div 2 teams in Sussex and Berkshire. Last year's 4th place team in the East in the Blitz B, and then Portsmouth came 3rd last year. Might explain why Wembley are trouncing it. It might do, absolutely. That actually,
you can only play who's put in front of you, and exactly. if everybody else is less than I have hidden that and I didn't mean to. Bring it back.
I got it.
Thanks. And if everybody else is less than satisfactory, then you're gonna look great, but it depends on what happens to you when playoffs come.
Yep, and that's where you make your money. Is showing up when the games matter the most. But seeing as we're talking about the other divisions and Division 1, this I didn't expect to happen. East Kent Exiles versus Colchester Gladiators, and the Gladiators won 26-0. This game was streamed.
So as is a common denominator for when we have upsets happen in Britball, it seems like the main common excuse that we tend to hear is X team didn't have a QB, and that is what what I'm hearing from the King Exile side of things, that they had no QB. Where was this the past month when I've been picking Colchester to win? And they've been losing. I've been riding the Colchester. I knew they were good. I was like Colchester over these guys, and they're just down. And then the moment I step off that Colchester train,
you pick against them.
They're like, all right, Aussies, stop believing. Let's get a W on the board, boys.
Let's go get them.
Killing me.
It is actually kind of unreal, because I think I turned on the stream and I looked at it. I was like, oh, okay.
Very good comment from David here. Good teams don't just beat bad teams; they smack them. Absolutely true. If you want to be considered, a strong contender, a very good team, you don't just beat the bad teams. You beat them handily. You dispatch them. Yeah. So that's what teams like Wembley and such and South Wales are doing at the moment. So
yeah, exactly. And the Steelers as well.
Let's go, Samwell.
Samwell Steelers 31, Birmingham Bulls 0. Every single one of us.
Samwell Steelers Resurgence Tour 2025. Here we come.
Hey, I'm here for it. It looks like they're looking to come back up potentially. But they do have competition to go up against.
They got strong division. They got strong. There's a lot of other decent teams in.
They got Northants
in the north,
although Northants did just lose to
not just Northants as well. The Revs aren't one to be one to be passed over. They literally just tied with the Revs last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and the Rams are 4-0. They scored 120 points with 41 conceded against them.
I wasn't even gonna talk about the AFC 1 North, where you've got the Rams and the Alphas. So
exactly. So
even the Romans are starting to bounce back.
Yeah, everyone's starting to find their groove. But as soon as we're talking about the Rams, Merseyside Nighthawks 0, Yorkshire Rams 28. Not surprising. We all picked the Rams to win this one. It's you are what we expected you to be.
It's a far cry from Merseyside having a whinge that we picked against them, and then they came out and beat Sheffield. I think it was Sheffield appears to be everybody's whipping boy in that division. Unfortunately, at the moment, it's not going well for them.
84% picked the Rams to win this game anyway, so the community already knew what's going on in that division. I think they believe.
Yeah, the Rams are a little bit of a cut above in Div 1 North at the moment. They would be the team that you'd be expecting to play. Either the Vikings, Caesars. Well, no, they'll get automatic promotion, and then
the second team will play the fifth place.
Yeah, whoever essentially that they beat from the south. From Div 1. Whoever they beat from Div 1 will then be up against either Newcastle, Nottingham, or East Kilbride.
So I think that's a long travel to East. Yeah, well, so it'll be interesting. And even in that division, still Romans. Yeah, as you said, Sheffield are the whooping boys. Chester Romans 25, Sheffield Giants 7. We all picked the Romans to win this game. I think after last week, where there was quite a few people down on Chester, and then they sort of bounced back and were like, "Look, we've had some issues just early to start the season, but we're still not Sheffield." So it'll be a tough one for Sheffield. They're going to have to play Humber, probably, maybe Leicester, Humber or Leicester to try and win, maybe, but it'll be difficult
to retain.
I don't know.
So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. I think Humber's a really good outfit. They haven't been able to show it, obviously, with the Donny forfeit. But it'll be interesting to see Sheffield up against Humber, just to see what is the gap between these Div 1 and Div 2 teams. So
I'm intrigued to see that. I do feel that the more I think about this relegation promotion matches, the more. Oh,
Sheffield
shit.
have Scunthorpe twice and then Yorkshire twice. Ouch.
Oh,
Do we think? I never.
that's not
Okay, I was about to lie. I was about to say I never like predicting. I never like predicting forfeits, but that's not true. I love predicting a forfeit every now and then. I love.
I don't
keeping
think
it
there'll
on.
be a forfeit this year. I don't know if there'll be a forfeit in Division 1. I don't think there'll be a forfeit in Division 1.
That second Rams game.
I get it, but there is a fine that no one wants to get a fine at the moment. Money is scarce with Britball as it is. To just be given away money because you can't play or what, it's a lot to do. I don't know. You could predict
sometimes you just don't have the numbers. Just it's like it's all well and good to say teams don't want to pay the fine, but if you ain't got the men to put out on the field, you ain't got the men to put out on the field.
True.
Look at Donny number this week. Like,
yeah,
we talk about the fact that it's been a postponement, but if that gets awarded, if that gets awarded as a walkover, that is a forfeit.
Yeah, but they're in Division 2, so
and it's not.
I wouldn't be that surprised.
I get that, but we do see forfeits at the Division 1 level. We see forfeits at the Premier level.
We have seen that, and that was very wild. That forfeit came 15 minutes before kickoff. That shit was wild. I was so annoyed. Damn. I remember that. Oh, and I remember the group chats. Apparently, players had already decided that they weren't going to play that game. So, interesting. But we digress. And we're going to go to Scotland, where the Inverclyde Goliaths
fuck?
Aberdeen Roughnecks 50 to 12. The only people that picked the Goliaths were Chris and Sean. We all picked the Roughnecks.
Where was this?
I don't know.
Where was this the first time round they played?
Scotland is probably the most annoying division because you just don't know what the hell's happening or where things are going.
I feel
because the first time they played, wasn't it close?
This is what I was expecting the first time they played, right? The first time these two guys played, this is the sort of thing I was expecting. Aberdeen is a associate
team that got
Inverclyde is a team that bounces sort of between Div 1, Div 2 level for Scottish ball. This is what I expected to happen the first time round, and Aberdeen came out and slapped them. So then everybody's gone, oh shit, what's going on now? And then
slap them.
Just on the reverse,
they decided to shut.
Bro, if you are losing to an associate team,
yeah, that's a good point.
As an established Div 1, Div 2 level team,
should not be.
If you're losing that, it is a slapping. You deserve to be slapped physically. Someone comes over and smacks you in the face. No, it was 28-27. It was a very, very close game. And I think, if I remember rightly, the Breen saying it was won sort of in the last couple of minutes. But
it shouldn't have been this close.
Why is it this week finally decided to get their shit together?
They've had practice, they've had the time to look back at game film and I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, I have not a clue what the hell's going on because I didn't expect this type of scoreline at all. For the life of me. But
this just cements the position of the cat treat jar, of the wheel of names, because no one knows what the fuck is happening. This is no one knows what the fuck is happening in Scottish football.
The cat treat jar. Oh,
no one knows what the fuck is happening.
Scottish football, no.
Mate, cat treat jar went
pretty well. Actually,
bro, the cat treat jar last year was like an 80% success rate at picking Scottish football.
That's true. It did actually, which was kind of crazy.
It crushed it. It knew what it was about.
All right. So regardless of that, we move on to the Premiership South, Now, I'm disappointed because I picked over 60. London Warriors versus Hertfordshire Cheetahs. London Warriors 50, Hertfordshire Cheetahs 7. We had this game as an over under 60 points. You are the only one to pick under 60.
The running clock, baby. The running clock wins all. The mercy rule.
So it wasn't even running clock at the start of the third quarter. Because at half time, it was 31-0. And from what I've been told by other players from the Cheetahs, that there was a lot of holding by the Warriors O-line that got TDs called back and everything. So I don't know. I thought it would have been over 60. That's just me personally. I expected to be over 60. But this is kind of a low scoring for Warriors against the less teams, if I'm gonna be honest.
We're not seeing the historical 70, 80, 90 burgers that we've seen in the past.
We're not. Now the question is, are they giving their backups more game time in these type of games? Are they playing their second and third strings and resting their starters? What could be happening? Well, we don't know because so there are many factors, but even so, I would have expected a probably higher score. But congratulations to Cheetahs on getting on the scoreboard, though. I have to give them that because I believe are the positions in the thing on points conceded now.
Oh, I can't remember what tie breaking points are.
I think it is on points conceded.
To me, it's more just it's more just like the games between Hertfordshire, and I think it's this week.
No,
Hertfordshire, Cambridgeshire.
No, it is not. Unfortunately,
is it,
there's no Premiership games this weekend coming up. Which
it's next week then.
So that will be interesting itself. But we can move on to the game that I am not surprised by the victor, but the scoreline I was pretty convinced that it would be like 2 scores anyway. London Blitz 7, Bristol Aztecs 20. From what I heard at halftime, it was 0-0. Well, no, that's a lie. Sorry. It was 7-0 at halftime, from what I got told. I got told before they scored, just before the game at halftime came. And apparently, from what I was told, that Blitz held on for quite a bit until the ending of the third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter, Aztecs just took over and just ran away with it.
This to me is and I said this to you yesterday. This is more to me is Bristol now back in the blob with London, less than London's up with Bristol and the Warriors. Like, this now creates. Do you remember Oz's tears? Where like if we want to do some tier ranking, of the Prem South, Warriors in their own tier,
then everyone else.
Bristol in their own tier.
Blitz in it.
No, Bristol in their own tier. The Blitz in their own tier, and then you could almost even say Rushmore in their own tier.
Yeah.
And then we'll find out what happens between Cambridgeshire and Hertfordshire. As Coach Russell says, that's 1st of June, so 2 weeks. 2 weeks, we get the relegation bowl brought to you by Perina One.
And it's at the Cheetahs. I might walk down the road. Who knows? We might just be there. But yeah, I'm not surprised by the scoreline. I knew it was gonna be a close game.
I kind of thought Bristol would. I thought Bristol would hand. I was surprised by the halftime scoreline when you texted and said it would have been 7 when it was 7-0 at halftime. That was surprising to me.
That threw me because I think I was at the basketball and I was like, oh, no one was updating it. So I was like, where can I get the updates for this game? And then once someone messaged me 0-0, I was just like, that can't be right. Surely not. It shouldn't be that close.
And then the 7-0 at halftime, I was like, Oh.
Hello.
Okay.
But then, obviously, I guess also I was told that the blitz defense was on the field majority of the time in the second half.
So Martin's working the fur bowl.
I might see you there at the Fur Bowl. I might see you there. We never know.
Are we calling it the fur bowl? Fur ball? The fur ball?
We can call it the.
I think the fur ball because it's going to look like someone vomited on the field.
Red and yellow.
No, I was talking about the quality of play, but yeah, cool.
That was, to be fair, this game
is that a little bit out of pocket?
Sort of. No, not really. Wasn't expecting it, but I think that game, the kitty litter bowl. Oh, that's not bad, Martin.
The kitty litter bowl, the litter box.
Yeah. I don't know. That game against those two is going to decide who's probably going to play that.
Yeah, it's who plays Wembley / South Wales.
Yeah, or East Kent Mavericks. Let's not forget about them.
East Kent didn't even beat the O's.
That's true. They didn't.
East Kent needs to win their own division before we start talking about them winning a playoff game. Let's chill on that for a second.
That's true. I can't argue with that one. I can't really sit here and say that anything because I rode that train all season last year and I got absolutely Bristol were finishing a run of 6 straight weeks with prior 3 games against Amsterdam Warriors and Carstead.
It was it was a brutal run, but at the same time
you still get 7 days. You decided to play the European games. You have 7 days to rest. You got to do what you got to do. You think NFL players complain that they have 16 weeks to play? Well,
yeah, one bye week. Yeah, but I agree with the point that you're making. You get a week to recharge. It's not like you're playing one game on Saturday, one game on Sunday. You've got a full week off to sort of. It's I don't really like the excuse of we played 3 games in a row. It's like I don't know how it is.
My issue is that if you play normal football, you're playing Saturday, you have Sunday, Monday rest, and you're playing again on Tuesday.
So for I haven't played in a populous area for rugby in the UK, but back home for New Zealand, we would play week in, week out every single week. And we'd have a bye week halfway in the middle of the season sort of thing. So you'd play your first 6-7 weeks, then you get your bye week, and then you play again. You'd play again another 10 weeks or some shit in a row, and that was it. It was very similar to what you mentioned with the NFL. You get one bye week, but you're constantly playing week in, week out, week after week after week after week after week. So I don't really buy we've had 3 tough games in a row.
It's all about your attrition. It's all about how you once the game's finished, how you prepare yourself and get your body ready to go to relax for the next week.
So whoever wins Div 1 is playing nobody because whoever's coming down is 100% just going to forfeit and take the. I mean, we've said that we do think some of these playoff promotion relegation games do get forfeited because if you've just been slapped for the entire year in your division, why do you want to then just fight tooth and claw to stay in your division and get the shit kicked out of you for another year?
Because pride, because you
should want to be in the Prem over Div 1.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You shouldn't want to drop down. You
shouldn't want to get relegated.
And you also get a fine for forfeiting the game anyway. So
yeah.
As I said earlier, money is scarce in Britball.
ain't no teams got money to throw away to not play games for sure.
Throw it away because you don't want to stay another year to get absolutely spanked by.
Yeah, for sure.
It's impossible. Yeah, you're right, SD. East Kent were the favourites to go up when they played against Wembley, and they did lose by a field goal. If I'm correct, the score was 24-21. If I believe that's if I was right about that, because I was at the South Wales Farnham game, Rushmore game that day. So yeah, but that is the end of week 7. We're gonna go through our predictions for the week 8. We only have 13 games. There are no Premiership games this weekend coming up, so it'll be nice and short. It's 13 games to go. Oh wait, here we go. If one team oh god, yeah, no team will ever forfeit.
We literally just saw a Prem team forfeit a couple of years ago. So Russ, Matthew will come back to this in a sec. Russ, we literally just saw a Prem team forfeit just a couple of years ago. So there's no way I'm willing to say no Prem team will ever forfeit because we have seen it before.
We have seen it before, which is quite depressing. It's quite upsetting actually to the fact that I've actually seen that.
If a team forfeits one game but completes the season, do they not play the relegation game? Is one forfeit is auto relegation? I have no idea. It is going to be a big thing of bollocks when we reach the promotion relegation games.
Because it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But we will see. Again, there's a lot of things that aren't as clear, but we'll just keep moving on and see what happens. So, week 8, we have, again, I repeat, we have 13 games to go through. And it seems like we might be on the same path this week. I don't think there'll be much difference in our selections of teams of who will win, to be honest, if I'm going to be real with you. So, we're going to go with the first game. We have Swindon Storm versus Plymouth Vanguard. I was thinking the exact same thing. I believe that the Vanguard will win this as well. So that will be interesting to see. 2 Vanguards going forward.
There's been no Prem forfeits yet, Russ, but I'm still not willing to write it off and say that there will be none. And especially if BAFA retains this format moving forward as well, we could still see Prem forfeits.
That's true.
Yeah, it's you should have enough pride to not forfeit, especially at the Prem level. But we've seen it before, so yes. I'm not willing to rule it out.
Next team that we have Cornwall Monarchs versus Hereford Stampede. I'm going with Stampede.
Yeah, I think I'm taking the Stampede as well.
I told you we might actually go 13 for 13, same picks this week. I'll
find somewhere to diverge.
I doubt so. Next week, actually, there is one game you might, and I'll be very intrigued to see if you actually do that. Next up, we have Norwich Devils versus Oxford Saints. Hell versus heaven.
Oh, you've been sitting on that one. You've been waiting for that.
To be fair, I only just realized it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go.
Who would have thought the all-time battle of good versus evil for our souls would be fought between Oxford and Norwich?
I know, right? It's really weird. I'm gonna go with the Saints on this.
I'm gonna pray for salvation. I'm going with the Saints.
Yep. Okay. Still. Oops. Got spelling Saints wrong, apparently.
Martin's working the Oxford Devils game.
Do I go to that game? No, that's in Norwich. Actually, hell no, I ain't driving that.
No, why? No, especially no.
Hell to no. Next up, we have Darlington Steam versus Humber Warhawks. I'm gonna go with the Warhawks.
No, I was a little bit like, wait, where are you going with this? Why are you hesitating? What is this hesitation? It's Warhawks all day, every day, and 4 times on Sunday. Give me Humber.
Yeah. Next up, we're up to Division 1. We have South Wales Warriors versus Somerset Wyverns, and it is the South Wales Warriors.
It's South Wales. I've got as much conviction for Humber as I do for South Wales. The victory train keeps on rolling.
Now, this is the game where I think you may go because of loyalty, maybe.
Because of loyalty?
Loyalty. Yeah, I said that. We have the Portsmouth Dreadnoughts
No.
versus Wembley Stadium.
No, there's no like. I get what you mean. Like, maybe if it was a different season and we'd seen different results, but no, I am not taking the Dreadnoughts to beat the Stallions. The Stallions are whooping everybody put in front of them so far, and I think that continues this week.
Okay, I agree. Okay.
I thought you were going to say loyalty for like Bournemouth or Bournemouth or Bristol. I was like, what loyalty do I have to these guys?
I thought you had loyalty to Portsmouth. Didn't you play for them?
I did play for them. Doesn't mean I don't know when they're going to get their ass whooped.
That's true. That's true.
You played for the Blitz and the O's. You're still more than willing to say that when they're going to get the shit kicked out of them.
That is true. That is also true. I have no
Evening, Adam. Thank you for joining us.
Adam. Next up, we go up to Division 1 East. We have Essex Tridents versus London Olympians.
So, Essex were missing a quarterback when they played the Exiles last time round.
Yeah.
Do they have that quarterback? I don't know.
I'm going with Olympians.
Doesn't make a difference. I don't think so because I'm taking the O's.
Yeah. Right. Next up, we have another one with that don't have a QB.
Speaking of teams that don't do well when they don't have their quarterback.
Yeah. East Kent Mavericks versus Kent Exiles.
Rivalry week.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm going with the Mavericks for this game.
I'm taking the Mavs.
Yeah. We really haven't split anything.
No, I think we might go 13 for 13.
Yep, I did say it. Actually, Scotland might split it.
Oh yeah, the wheel is gonna. You know what? I saw who's playing. I'm not letting the wheel choose. I'm not letting the wheel choose.
All right. Division 1 Midlands. We have Staffordshire Surge versus Shropshire Revolution. This one we actually might split. Have they played already? I can't remember. I'm going with the Revs.
I'm taking the Revs. Like, yeah, if you want to dance around this and then take the Surge, go for it. But I'm taking the Revs.
Yeah, I don't know why I was really thinking about that too deeply, to be honest.
Well, because the Surge did just beat Northants. We literally just saw the Surge beat Northants. So I don't want to sort of seem disrespectful to the Surge and be like, we've both just jumped on the Revs instantly and be like, oh, they have no chance. They definitely have a chance. It's not. I am taking Revs with conviction, but it's not like if it's a very close game, I will not be surprised. I do think the Surge have got the ability to win this one, but I am picking the Revs to win it. But I will not be surprised if it's a very close game or if the Surge win it. I won't be surprised.
Yeah, although the Surge have never beaten the Revs in their history of meeting. So that is very interesting. Yeah, they've played 4 times, and the Revs have won 4 times.
Oh wow!
The closest game was in 2003 when it was 25-24.
Is this one of these LL Cool P stats?
No, it's on Baffa.
Oh goddamn!
Yeah.
Oh, is LL Cool P doing stats for Baffa now?
I don't know. I'm
gonna message you, LL Cool P.
Next up in the same division, we have Norfolk Knights versus Birmingham Bulls. Let's go Knights.
Let's go Knights.
No idea what that was.
I have no idea, but I just mimicked you because you did it. Yeah, Birmingham. It's a tough season for them. 0-4. What is this?
I don't know. I'm trying to forget about it.
I thought you had like a real thing, and I was like, okay, we're doing something. The Knights have a thing.
Not a clue.
Yeah, no. People, have you seen Micah in the street? Do that to Micah. Taking the Knights. Let's go Northants. Time to get back on the horse, or the bull, proverbial bull.
We're ready.
And right the ship and any other sort of idiom that you want to talk about.
Yep. And then we're moving up to Division 1 North. This is gonna be easy. We got Sheffield Giants versus Scunthorpe Alphas. I'm guessing you're going with the Alphas as well.
I'm taking the Alphas. Yeah, it's like this is the beginning of a long run
Season.
for Sheffield. The schedule's only going to get harder from here. So
Yeah.
prayers up to Sheffield. Let's hope they finish out the season. Don't want to see no forfeits. So stay strong, guys. But yeah, Scunthorpe with the dub.
Yes, and the final game of the season. Can you please get your wheel up?
Nah,
Please?
I've already spun it. I'm not letting it pick.
No. You're the one that brought it up. Bring up the wheel because your pick
no
is going by the
fine,
wheel.
Fine.
I'm taking the Tigers, by the way.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Okay, give me a sec.
To be fair, if you want to go with the Tigers, we can go with the Tigers.
No, let me just sort this wheel out. Give me a sec.
Watch him put Tigers on one side, Tigers on the other side, and spin. That's exactly what he's doing.
No, not. Okay, here we go. Right, share my screen.
Wait, hold on. I just realized, Martin, did you just say hold up? You don't have a crew to work the East Kent.
There might not be a crew for one of the games. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, that should be interesting.
That's the wrong tab.
Don't. It's coming.
I was on our playoff stuff. Right, here we go.
No, there we go.
Is it around? Is it there?
Yeah, it is.
There we go. It's just my hamster internet.
I've just realized on what you did. Ready? Oh god, that is not how I wanted it to be. Ready to spin, Oz? Are you spinning? I'm so lost. Glasgow, of course he did. Of course he did. Oh, you are so happy about that. Right.
Micah, bring us back.
I have brought us back.
Oh, okay.
I brought us back a while back. We didn't split anything this week. Anything.
Yeah. I had to edit the wheel. There's no way I was taking. The thing is, right? Watch us now both go like 7 and 6.
Yeah. It'd be nice if we both went 13 for 13. But
yeah, I was clearly running Windows 3.1 there on this. Yeah. It's I'm on the work computer and it is slow.
God. This week, no Premiership games this week, so it should be fun. I don't know where I'll travel to this weekend, you know. Do I go to East Kent Mavericks versus Kent Exiles game? Is there a point?
I gotta go back to Ireland next week, so I'm not going to any games this week.
You don't go to games anyway.
Well, it's I would if I got more chance to, you know, rather than if I wasn't away for an entire week and I got more time to spend with the missus. So, you know, we try and get out, do some hikes, do some hikes and stuff on the weekends.
Fair point. That's fair. Do I go watch Northampton versus Birmingham in Northampton?
Oh, definitely that game. Definitely that game.
Yeah.
I'd do the Northampton Birmingham game. That'll be a good game to watch.
Yeah, I'd have a look at the journey and see if I feel like driving up there, you know, in the morning. It is a 2 p.m. kickoff. Swindon, I'm sorry, Simon. I don't have 6 hours of my life to burn.
Yeah, that's the close game.
I do not have 6 hours of my life to burn like that. It probably would be a fun game to go watch, but oh wait, then Swindon? No, that's still Swindon. That's still too far.
Swindon's still a decent way away.
Yeah, it's still too far. Like,
you need to put together some performances that make it worth coming to see, Simon.
go Portsmouth versus Wembley. Have a drink up afterwards.
I think it's a Wembley home game, and it's bank holiday.
It's a Portsmouth home game.
Oh, is it Portsmouth home game?
Yeah,
mate. Portsmouth's a good night out. Portsmouth's a good night out. I've done a pub crawl. I've done a pub crawl with Steve in Portsmouth for his birthday.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. I even might go. No, I'm not going to Essex Trident versus London Olympians.
Nah. No, I reckon Northants. Go Northants Birmingham. Northants Birmingham. Snaps of photos.
Yeah. I might. I don't know. I'll look at the journey and I'll decide on where to go. Who knows? If there's no rest there, you may have to do it, Mike.
Yeah. Because the East Kent game, remember? Martin said there might not be a crew for the East Kent game. So,
performance worth watching coming up. Now, Joby, where do you play? Because that's a very bold statement. It's a very, very bold statement for me to travel to. So I've got
Right. Are we done?
Yes, we are done. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a very interesting week, short week. We expected people to be who they were, teams to be exactly who they were. Didn't show us anything different. Plymouth Vanguard. Oh, yeah, I'm not making that choice.
Not Trevor.
I'm not doing that to myself. But this week in the predictions, me and Oz have gone 13 for 13. No changes, no mix-up.
In stride.
Either we're going to be 100% wrong, we're going to be either 60 to 40 or whatever. But we die together. We will live together.
We die together.
We right, basically. But ladies and gentlemen, that has been week 7. We are going into week 8. I hope everyone is healthy, ready to go. If you've had back-to-back games, I hope your attrition has been better.
What are we talking about, man? Get on. I may not be here next week. I got the travel. It's a bank holiday, and I've got the travel to Ireland. So next week's my Ireland week. So I might be here. I might not. We shall see. Micah is taking forever to wrap it up. So thank you very much for joining us for the rundown for week 7. I am Oz.
I'm Micah.
And this has been the week 7 rundown. Let's go Knights!
Peace.
Let's go Knights!